Let's begin with a story read by our house captains. Are you listening? 'Twas the year 2020 and all through the land a virus was spreading, not the year we had planned.
The country shut down, streets emptied alone. The message for lockdown, stay safe and stay home.
Key workers kept working, it was their time to shine, supporting our country out on the front line.
We clapped for our carers, key workers and more, appreciating them so much more than before.
2020's been strange, a year like no other. Hand washing, distancing, keep your face under cover.
But as the year closes and the virus still spreads, look to the future and what lies ahead.
We hope that next year birthday parties we can plan. We can see friends and families and we can hug our gran.
We hope life can be normal and all will be well. We hope doctors and nurses help those who are unwell.
So our concert this year is not our usual thing. We can't have you in our hall, we can't even sing.
But we've all done our best to spread Christmas cheer and make you all smile at the end of this year.
Christmas is special and makes everyone smile. So here's our virtual concert in true Buchanhaven style.
So sit back, relax, please enjoy our show. Lights, camera, action, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
As you all know, this year we are not allowed to sing during our concert. The following few classes have chosen to perform their songs using Makaton, British Sign Language and actions. Please enjoy.
Up on the top.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I've bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Christmas is a time for dancing and parties. The following few classes have chosen to perform their songs for mime, lip syncing and dancing. You're in for a treat. Please enjoy.
Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Time for parties and celebrations. People dancing all night long. Time for presents and exchanging kisses. Time for singing Christmas songs. We're gonna have a party tonight. I'm gonna find
rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
shark, ho, 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 Santa shark, ho, 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 Santa shark, ho, 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 Santa shark. Reindeer sharks do 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 do. Reindeer sharks do 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 do. Reindeer sharks do 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 do. Reindeer sharks. Elf sharks do 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 do. Elf sharks do 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 do. Elf sharks do 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 do. Elf sharks. Making toys do 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 do. Making toys do 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 do. Making toys do 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 do. Making toys. Wrap them up do 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 do. Wrap them up do 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 do. Wrap them up do 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 do. Wrap them up. Load the sleigh do 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 do. Load the sleigh do 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 do. Load the sleigh do 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 do. Load the sleigh. It's Christmas. Swim away do 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 do. Swim away do 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 do. Swim away do 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 do. Swim away. Swim faster do 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 do. Swim faster do 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 do. Swim faster do 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 do. Swim faster. Swim faster do 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 do. Swim faster do 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 do. Swim faster do 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 do. Swim faster. Santa shark ho 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 ho. Santa shark ho 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 ho. Santa shark ho 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 ho. Santa shark.
Classes have chosen to recite some Christmas poems and rhymes. Get ready to listen to some well-known classics and maybe even learn some new ones.
We smell great.
The second one said,
There's a chill in the air.
The third one said,
There's a lot of hungry children everywhere.
The fourth one said,
I think we better run.
The fifth one said,
Quick, here they come.
The children each gobbled of the munch, crunch, munch. The 5 yummy gingerbread turned into lunch. Merry Christmas! It was the night before Christmas.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon will be there.
The children were nestled snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
And Mama is her kerchief, and I and my cat would just settle our brain for a long winter's nap. When I slept alone, I wrote such a cluster, I sprang off my bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window, I flew like a flash, threw open shutters and threw up the sash.
The moon and the breast of the new fallen snow gave a lustre at midday to objects below.
When what to my wondering eyes did appear, a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, as coarse as my kid, he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
The Dasher and the Dancer, the Prancer and Vixen, on Cupid, on Comet, on Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacles mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the closest they flew, the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew it in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came to bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back as he took a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes held a twinkle, his dimples held merry, his cheeks like a roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight and safe, and the smoke encircled his head like a reef.
He had a broad face and a little round body that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word but went straight back to work, filled all the stockings and turned around with a jerk. Laying his finger aside of his nose, giving a nod up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight,
Happy Christmas to all and to all of the night. Merry Christmas!
The history books will talk of now that time the world stood still, when every family stayed at home, waved out from windowsills.
At those they loved but could not hold, because they loved themselves. Yet while they did, they noticed all the flowers start to grow.
The sun came out. They can recall, and windows rainbows filled. They kicked a football in their yards until the night grew.
They walked each day, but not so close, that time the world stood still, when people walked straight down roads that once cars did fill.
They saw that people became ill, they knew the world was scared, but while the world seemed still, they knew how much the whole world cared. They clapped on Thursday from their doors, they cheered for the brave, for people who had risked their lives so others could be saved. Their schools closed down, they missed their friends, they missed their teachers too. Their moms and dads helped them with their work, they helped their minds to grow. The parents used to worry that the schools were put on hold. Their children wouldn't have the tools they need as they grew old. The history books will talk of them, now adults fully grown. Those little boys and girls back then, the ones who stayed at home. They'll tell you that they fit this world with all they would fulfill. The rainbow children building dreams, They dreamed whilst time stood still.
The story of how the Grinch stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss, read by Premier 5A. Everything doesn't prove like Christmas at all.
But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not.
Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't just blind on quite miss the reason. It could be his hat isn't to go down just right. It could be the hat that his shoes weren't too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
Whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Jews, staring down from his cave with a seven witchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath.
And they're hanging their stockings. He struggled through a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled and his Grinch fingers never ceased drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming, for tomorrow is here.
All the little girls and boys were good behind me. They must not the toys, and all the noise. One finger here, the noise. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. Feast, feast, feast. They would feast on blue pudding and rare roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
And then they do something he'd like least of all. Every Who did in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. Sing and they'd sing, sing, sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this sweet Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming, but how? Then he got an idea, a off idea. The Grinch got a wonderful off idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed, so I made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat. I chuckled and clucked with a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat I just looked like Saint Nick.
All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scared, there's none to be found. That stopped old Grinch in a The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max and took some red thread and tied a big roll on top of his head.
Then he loaded some bags and all rolled up his sacks on a ramshackle sleigh and he hitched up with Max. Then he slid, and the Grinch had get up and the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's are sleeping in town. All the windows are dark, lights that filled the air. All the Who's are dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is not number one, the old Grinch closest. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. Those stockings he grinned are the first things to go. And then he slathered himself with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room. He took every present, pop guns and bicycles, roller skates and drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. The Grinch was very nipply, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slipped to the icebox, he took the Who feast, he took the Who pudding, he took the roast beef, he cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch, he took the last can of Who hash.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove. When he heard a song sound like the coo of a dove, he turned around fast and he saw a small room. Little Cindy Lou, who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by its tiny new daughter. He got out in bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
You know, that old Grinch was so smart and slick. He thought up a lie and he thought it all quick. Why, my little sweet tot, fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light at one side, and so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear, and I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here. And his fig flew the child, and he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was a log for the fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On the walls he left nothing but some hooks and some wire. And the one smoking food that he left in the house was a clock that was used to smell clothes. Then he did the same thing to other Hoop's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for other Hoop's mouses. It was dawn, and all the Who's still at bed, all the Who's still asleep. When he packed up his sled, packed up with the presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, tags, and tinsel.
the charades, and the trappings. Fee pheasant, fee upper, said the man crumpet, he rode of his load till he tipped out the dumpet. Pooh to the whoos, he was grinchiously humming, defending that now though Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. The mouths will hang open in a minute or two, then all the whoos down in Hoover will all cry boo-hoo.
That's a nice grin of the Grinch, but I'm a simper we hear. So he paused and put his hand to his ear, and he did hear sound towards an open snow. It started to low, then it started to blow.
But the sound wasn't sad. Why? The sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Hoover, the Grinch popped his eyes, then he shook what he saw with a shock and surprise. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, were singing without any presents at all.
He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming, it came. Somehow or other it came just the same.
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold with the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day, and the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he was with his sword through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef.
Thank you for listening to our story about how the Grinch stole Christmas.
The Night Before Christmas, a Christmas story poem.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when after the hoose, no creature was walking, no even a moose. And after the house with a trail of fine parcels and bulls singing loose.
We sellotape stuck to Athen and Sicht. From tinsel a drooping in every picture and licht.
The stocking was hanging from the chimney with care.
And hats that St. Nicholas seen would be here. One fit to my one and een should compare, but a wee peery wee sleigh and X wee reindeer.
We a period driver. Say swooper and quick, a cat in a mini, it might be St. Nick.
New Dasher, new Dancer, new Prancer, new Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blixen.
To the tops of the porch, to the tops of the wall, they bring a wah, bring a wah, bring a wah. As dry leaves that a forest now winds would flit, they meet with a stickle marked tay to lift. Say up to the house top, the coursers they flee.
We a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas indeed. And then I heard the skinkling on the roof, the linking and loofing of a ickle wee hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning about, down the lump St. Nicholas came with a limp.
Ah, busket and fur frames heaped his foot. His classes all tarnished with asses and soot. A bundle of toys he flung on his back, looking like a cadger just opening his pack. His een how they skinkled his dimples how canter.
His cheeks was like roses, his nib like a cherry.
His rolly moo was drawed up by like a bow, and the beard of his chin as white as snow.
He had a broad face and a round wee belly.
That shook when he laughed like a full bowl of jelly.
It must be St. Nick, I ran with a fright. I ran up to bed and closed my een tight.
And I heard he roar as he drove out of sicht. Merry Christmas to all and all a good night.
Shh, first Sunday a Christmas Dorrit poem.
It'll soon be time for Christmas.
Time for everybody to say.
What your wish is getting late.
Shut them keepers at the end of the day, but seeing as your mask you sit stay. You teetu you covers the mare.
Your looks work so hard they shiver, and hush as you go near to that door.
Creeping down yon steps, fair sleek it.
Teetin roon and roon your een open and we fry.
Shh, them bells tingle and jingle. You look through window panes and clap your hand to your room. A sleigh skips by under your nose. You fast your Rudolph open his ear. Shh,
like a moose, scurrying shore.
Now up to your bed afore Sydney slips through your lung.
Christmas is a time to tell lots of stories and read lots of Christmas books. Our next set of classes want to tell you a well-known classic. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be transported to Whoville to hear the tale of a well-known Christmas character.
Who lived just north of Whoville did not.
The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
Could be his head is screwed on just right.
Could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight.
But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart all had shoes. He stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's,
Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every hue down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
He growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
For tomorrow he knew
All the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys and then...
That's one thing he hated.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Noise! Bring us something important, Lord. Bring us something important, Lord. Bring us something important and bring it right here. Noise! Right here, good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We won't stop until we get some. We won't stop until we get some. We won't stop until we get some. So bring it right here. Noise!
Then the Woos, young and old, would sit down to a feast.
And they feast.
They will feast on Who Pudding and rare Who Beast.
And it feast. And it feast. Feast, feast, feast.
Something the Grinch can send in the leaf.
And then they do something he's like least of all.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, we stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They stand in hand.
And the Who's will start singing.
And they sing, sing, sing.
And more of the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing.
I must stop this whole thing from coming. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?
We got an idea.
An awful idea.
Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do.
And he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and he clucked.
With a great Grinchy trick. With his coat and his hat, I just look like Saint Nick.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found.
All I need is a reindeer.
Did that stop the old Grinch?
The Grinch simply said,
I can't find a reindeer. I'll have to make one instead.
so he called his dog Max. He took some red thread and he tied a big horn on top of his head.
And he loaded some bags.
And some old empty socks.
Ramshackle sleigh. He hitched up old Max. Grinch said, "Stop!" And the sleigh started down towards the homes where whose were snoozing the town. The dark, quiet snow filled the air. For dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square.
Number 1.
She claws hissed. The roof with empty bags in his fist. He slid down the chimney a rather tight pinch. But if Santa can do this, could the Grinch? Stuck only once for a minute for two. Stuck his head out of the fireplace. Flew over little whose stockings all hanging at a row. These stockings are the first things to go. And slunk with a smile most unpleasant. The whole room he took every present. Guns. Roller skates. Drums. Bullets. Stuffed lemon bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Slunk to the ice box. Whose feast? Who put in? He took the roast beast. Took the icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch even took the last kind of goulash? Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. Now, the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. The Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove. He heard a small sound like a coo of a dove. Turned around fast and he saw a small who. Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this little tiny who daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
but you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie. He thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little talk?
The fake Santa Claus lied.
There's a light on to see that it won't light on one side, so I'm taking it home to my right sock. My dear, I'll fix it up here and I'll bring it back here.
And his fib for the child, then he patted her head, then he got her a drink, and then he sent her to bed.
And when Cindy who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for the fire. Then he went to the chimney himself, the old liar, on the walls who left nothing but hooks and some wire.
And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
It was dawn. All the who's still abed, all the who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled.
Pack it up with the presents, the ribbons, the wrappings,
the tags and the tinsel, the trimming, the trappings.
3,000 feet up of the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
He was grinchishly humming.
Don't think after the Christmas is coming. They're just to make it good. I don't just want to do. My mouth so hang open and minute to two and down all of the who's standing who feel the low cry boo-hoo. That's a noise.
Grinned the Grinch.
Then I simply must hear.
So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry. Very! He stared down at Tuville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shoot. What? he thought was a shocking surprise.
Every down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came, somehow or other, it came just the same.
And the Grinch with his Grinch feet, ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without leathers. It came without tacks. It came without packages, boxes or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a story. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, needs a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And the minute his heart didn't feel so tight, he whizzed with his clothes through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast.
He himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
Right at the heart of Christmas is the story of the Nativity. Please enjoy our P1 performance this year, telling the story of Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus.
A long, long time ago, a lad flew away. Angel came from heaven, something special to say. And to say Mary, who was soon to be Judah's wife. There's some special news to change her life. So great, you'll send from God, that Mary will have God's son. He was to call him Jesus. He was the chosen one. Mary couldn't quite believe it, wondered if it was true. Yeah, she was special, and the baby has sight hungry. Mary doesn't go away. Exercise taken. The baby nearly grew. They were feeling rather shaken. To the Bethlehem, getting more tired by the day. Jackie kites me. Long the dusty road. The donkey gets really carrying a heavy load. You didn't make it reach the town. Get away. No, how really be it that had to find a place to stay so I could rest her hand. Bethlehem was busy and he couldn't find a bed. Knocked on doors around the town, but were always turned away. What was it going to do? It won't keep us sad, and I have space for you. That space was in a stable. That bed was made out of hay. Mary and Joseph were happy at last they had somewhere to stay. Jesus was born later that night, a manger for his bed. No blanket, my hay. He sweat versus his bed. Rock helped it in the way, cradling the baby in her arm with a mother's protecting instinct. Keep him safe from harm. This baby is special. Give some to go above. Pass his message about kindness, care, and love.
Shepherds on the hillside read from primary 1C. Some shepherds watched the tops by night on a hill height right nearby. And suddenly they saw light. One day in the sky, they turned towards the light and could not believe their eyes. An angel appeared before them, the light filling up the sky. The angel had some news to share of the birth of a special boy. This is the Son of God. Can to spread love and joy. The angel told them where to go and not to be afraid, to make the way to the stable. where the baby Jesus died.
On the night in the east, 3 men looked up and gazed.
And suddenly they spotted something strange. Stared, confused and amazed.
They saw a star shining bright, what didn't be there before. A star that they knew was special and they wanted to know more. They studied their schools and soon discovered what the star was trying to show. The birth of a great king with its bright and shining glow.
Our final set of classes are going to give you their take on a well-known song, The 12 Days of Christmas. Did you ever wonder where it came from? Well, P67 are going to tell you, and P7B are going to give you their take on the 12 Days of Christmas lockdown style.
Month of COVID the world gave to me endless days of quarantine.
On the 2nd month of COVID, the world gave to me 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 3rd month of COVID, the world gave to me 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine. On the 4th month of COVID, the world gave to me 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 5th month of COVID, the world gave to me no gatherings, 4 months of school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 6th month of COVID, the world gave to me 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months of school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 7th month of COVID, the world gave to me 7 takeaways of eating, 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months of school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless day of quarantine.
On the 8th month of COVID, the world gave to me 8 quizzers zooming, 7 takeaways of eating, 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 9th month of COVID, the world gave to me 9 TikTokers dancing, 8 quizzers zooming, 7 takeaways at eating, 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 10th month of COVID, the world gave to me 10 hands at cleaning, 9 TikTokers dancing, 8 quizzers zooming, 7 takeaways at eating, 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months of school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, endless days of quarantine.
On the 11th month of COVID, the world gave to me 11 bakers baking, 10 hands at cleaning, 9 TikTokers dancing, 8 quizzers zooming, 7 takeaways at eating, 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, and endless days of quarantine.
On the 12th month of COVID, the world gave to me 12 hours of gaming, 11 bakers baking, 10 hands at cleaning, 9 TikTokers dancing, 8 quizzers zooming, 7 takeaways at eating, 6 feet apart, no gatherings, 4 months of school, 3 medical masks, 2 toilet rolls, and endless days of quarantine.
You have all heard of the lovely Christmas song, The 12 Days of Christmas, have you not? Our class is here to tell you the real story through the letters sent from the recipients of the gifts.
December 14th. My dearest darling John, whoever in the whole world would dream of
of getting a real partridge in a pear tree. How wonderful! Thank you 100 times for thinking of me this way. My love always, Agnes.
December 15th. Dearest John, today the postman brought your very sweet gift. Just imagine, 2 turtle doves. I'm just delighted at your very thoughtful gift. They are just adorable. All my love, Agnes.
December 16th. Dear John, oh, you are so generous. 3 French hens. They are just darling, but I must insist. You've been too kind. All my love, Agnes.
Delivery of 4 calling birds.
Tweet, tweet, tweet. December 17th. Dear John, today the postman delivered 4 calling birds. Now really, they are beautiful, but don't you think enough is enough? You are being too romantic. Affectionately, Agnes.
December 18th. Dearest John, what a surprise when today the postman delivered 5 golden rings. 1 for each finger. You're just impossible, but I love them. Frankly, all those birds squawking was beginning to get on my nerves. All my love, Agnes.
December 19th. Dear John, when I opened the door today, there were actually 6 geese laying eggs on my front step. So, you're back to the birds again, huh? These geese are huge. Where will I ever keep them? The neighbours are complaining and I can't sleep through the racket. Please stop. From Agnes.
December 20th. John, what's with you birds? 7 swans are swimming. What kind of stupid joke is this? There's bird poop all over my house and they never stop with noise. I can't sleep at night and I'm a nervous wreck. It's not funny. Stop sending in birds. Sincerely, Agnes.
December 21st. Okay, Buster. I think I prefer the birds. What on earth am I going to do with 8 maids of milking? It's not enough for all those birds and 8 maids of milking, but they had to bring their own cows. There are cow pads all over my lawn and I can't move in my own house. Stop sending me stupid gifts. Agnes.
December 22nd. What are you, some kind of weirdo? Now, there's 9 pipers playing and they don't stop playing. The cows are getting upset and stepping all over those screeching birds. What am I going to do? The neighbors have started a petition to get me evicted from my own home. A very angry Agnes.
December 23rd. No! 10 ladies dancing through my front door this morning is not in the least bit funny. The cows broke into my house in fright and my living room is wrecked. My landlord has issued a stern warning. He's not seen the half of it. The building looks like it's falling down. I'm calling the police on you, Agnes. December 24th. Are you mad? 11 lords are leaping around my living room with the maids dancing, cows pooping, pipers playing, birds screeching. I'll have to sell all of the rings to afford the repairs. Your sworn enemy, Agnes.
December 25th. Dear Sir, this is to acknowledge your latest gift of 12 fiddlers fiddling, which you have seen fit to send to our client, Miss Agnes McHaggis. The destruction was total. All correspondence should now come to us instead. If you attempt to reach Miss Agnes McHaggis at the hospital, the security have been instructed to handcuff you immediately. With this letter, please find attached a warrant for your arrest. Yours faithfully, Law Offices of Buchanhaven School. Merry Christmas.
No more birds.
Merry Christmas from 6-7! Thank
taking the time to watch our virtual Christmas concert. We hope you have enjoyed our performances and they have made you smile. The final thing we would like to say to you is...